Hello everyone, this is Vanshika Tainwala, legal intern under Lexis and Company for the month of June, and today in this video I will be talking about judicial review. So what is the meaning of judicial review, from where the judicial review has been evolutioned, and what are the landmark cases relating to judicial review, and what are the provisions relating to the judicial review. So firstly, I will talk about Article 13 Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution. So Article 13 Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution, it says that if the state makes any law that takes away or abridges the fundamental rights of citizens, so such law will be declared as void. So basically, judicial review is a proceeding, is a court proceeding, basically an administrative court's proceeding, where the unlawfulness of an action or decision is made and the review is made by the judge. So the court has the power to review upon the administrative actions which are taken by the administrative bodies too. So basically the evolution of judicial review we can see is from US, UK and India. So the first ever case of judicial review which was stated was Marbury versus Madison. So I will discuss about this case. In India, the first case was Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala, wherein the Supreme Court bestowed the judicial review as the widest and ambit. Gave the Supreme Court the widest power and ambit in order to amplitude the case relating to the Keshwanand Bharti case. So basically the exercise of judicial review can be taken upon three actions. Firstly, judicial review of administrative actions, secondly, judicial review of legislative actions, and thirdly, judicial review of judicial actions only. So the judicial review of administrative action is related to the discretion of administrative. The subject relates to the administrative discretion only. So the mechanism of judicial control of administrative action is taken place by the use of SLPs, special leave petition, which we study in Article 136 of the Indian Constitution. Secondly, supervisory jurisdiction of the Supreme High Court under Article 227, and extraordinary and ordinary remedies wherein appeal, writs, injunction and reference can be filed before the court. So power of the judicial review on Supreme Court and High Court both. So under Supreme Court the power has been given under Article 32 and 136 of the Indian Constitution. Article 32 is for the writs and Article 136 is for the SLP. Under High Court 226 and 227, so wherein the rights are protected and the supervisory jurisdiction of High Court is stated. So under Article 227, every High Court has superintendence over all the courts and tribunals in relation to the jurisdiction where it exercises. So this was Article 227. So the first landmark case I was talking about was Marbury versus Madison. So in this case, the first ever judicial review was taken into place. So in this case, what happened was Marbury, John Adams, he was a federalist, so he had the last days in his office. So he had the idea to appoint a bunch of Federalist Party members as judges before he left, and he got such approval from the Congress also. So Jefferson, who was the president, did not send the letter to Madison, the secretary. One was to be appointed was Marbury. So Marbury went to the court to the judiciary in order to issue order to the secretary to do his job. So the court held that no, the right to issue mandamus was unconstitutional, and the court here in the first time made a rule regarding the legislative action wherein the legislative action was held to be unconstitutional, and therefore the judicial review was taken into place for the first time in the world in this case, in the US case of Marbury versus Madison. So coming on to the Indian case of Shankari Prasad versus Union of India, it is a landmark judges wherein the 6 judges bench was constituted, wherein the 5 judges bench, that is the majority, held that there should be no amendment to the essential rights which are contained under the Indian Constitution. Wherein also the case of Keshwanand Bharti was stated. In Keshwanand Bharti, 6 out of 7 judges held that Parliament has the power to modify and it can amend the rights. So the Keshwanand Bharti case overruled the Golaknath case and held that the essential rights cannot be modified as it will touch the very elementary basic of the Constitution, elementary construction of the Constitution. So coming on to the one more case of PUCL versus Union of India. So in this case, the Supreme Court stated that any disregard or disobey of the decision of the court, then the lawmakers have no power to ask. So also the case of I.R. Kohilo versus State of Tamil Nadu, this case was reiterated from many cases such as Keshwanand Bharati case, Chandra Kumar versus Union of India, Vaman Rao versus Union of India, Minerva Mills versus Union of India, Indira Gandhi versus Rajanarayan, and it was held that judicial review is essential and it is an integral part of the Indian Constitution. So this was the main basic concept of the judicial review, wherein the courts have power to touch upon the administrative actions that are unlawful and illegal, and the court can review such matters also. So this was the basic concept of judicial review. Hope you understood this concept. Thank you.